Right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to fit this aluminium window. It's 1200 wide, it's 1000 high. The 1200 includes the sill. There's the sill. I'm going to cut the sill to length in a minute. It's an aluminium window. It's got one opener and a fixed pane. And so there's the opening that we've created for it. What we tend to do when we build these, we'll leave 10mm clearance on the height to get it in, and we'll leave 20mm clearance on the sides so that if the building racks slightly when we build it, then we can still put the window in nice and plump and square. So, the sill, the centre sill longer, just in case you want to put a lug on it, which I'll show you what that means. 1 minute. If you ring me and I don't answer the phone, you'll know why, because I'm doing a video. Right, so there's the sill. So what they do, they send it longer so that you can actually put a lug on it. So that's the lug. So that will sit like that. That'll be your building there, and then you'll have 2 lugs on it there, and then your window will sit there. But in this case, we'll put them in square because it's easier for us cladding, and it gives a better detail on our cladding finish. Right, I'm going to cut it with this chop saw. Like I said, it's 1200 long. Now, previously used this blade, so what we're doing, we're swapping the blade backwards and forwards. So I'm going to keep this one for cutting the sills. What I'm going to do is, it kicks off a lot of chipping, so you need to wear safety glasses. There you go. So I'll just explain the sill to you. So this little cap there, it's got a little recess on it. So what happens there, that sits over there nicely. And it'll, there you go, it sits over there nicely, and it'll cover any chippings that you've done on your sill. It's also got a thermal break in it. The thermal break prevents the cold transfer coming from the inside, from the outside, sorry, into the room. There's the thermal break. It's made out of plastic. You can see how it's actually put in them little grooves there. It's absolutely solid. There you go. Can't break that. So what we're going to do, we're going to drill through the thermal break and fix it that way. Now, I know some of you guys, you window fitters probably, well, some of you are, I know you are, and you said to me that you shouldn't be fitting through the thermal break. You can break into the room that way, and you should be fitting through the back. But if you look on the internet and Google it, thermal break is advised as where you should be fitting through. So, what we're going to do with this one, there isn't, they haven't put any, what do they call them, Adam? Drain holes. They haven't put any drain holes in the sill for whatever reason, I don't know. So basically, your window 70mm section will sit there, and any water that goes in there will then go into that groove. So what we need to do is drill a little hole in there, which will allow the water to go into the sill, go down to the drip, and then we're going to drill a little drip hole, a little drain hole there, and any water will go down there, in there, and down there, and outside rather than back into the room. Right, so we're going to drill these drain holes in this. What we're going to do, can you see there, Adam? We're going to drill 3 in there. If you watch one of my other videos, you know that all my toolbox has been left open and all my stuff's got rusty. That's why we're using a rusty drill bit. Right, so there's the 3 holes. What that'll allow any water that goes in there to actually run through into the sill. What we're going to do now is we're going to change the drill bit for a smaller one, a brand new one. Should drill a bit better. And what I'm going to do then, I'm going to put the sill on my knee so it doesn't scratch on the floor. There we go. 1. 2. 3. Right, so it's important that we've obviously drilled them holes. You can't see them now, but any water then now will go down there. It'll go through that drip hole. It'll drop into the sill, and then it'll come out the drip on there. But what we need to do now is dam that, and I'm going to show you how we're going to dam it. Right, so we're going to dam the sill now. what happens is, obviously, we've drilled them holes for water to go through, so any water that we don't want the water coming out of here and back into the room. So when I find... So we're going to dam the sill now. What we're going to do, obviously we don't want water dripping in that hole and coming out there like I've said before. So what we're going to do, we're going to fill this with silicone. There we go. Is that completely full, Adam? I can't see from the angle, isn't it? So we're going to fill that with silicone, and then what we're going to do, we're going to put this little sill cover on, push it down, make sure it's home, and then I'll just get a wipe and just clean it up. You want to just clean it as you go, and then you've not got no silicone left anywhere. Get all that silicone off there. The trade wipes, they just clear off silicone, they're really good. So there you go, look, that's, I don't know if I can see that there. You can see that's the end I cut with a saw. You can't see any burrs or anything like that because that sill cap sits over there nicely. So we'll do the same on the other end, and then I'll show us fitting the sill. So we're going to use this DeWalt crossline laser to level it. What I'm going to do, so I've sat down on this timber opening that we've created. I'll move my hand there. You can see there, it's approximately 32, 33 mil. I'll put it over there. It's the same. We're the same in the middle, so I'm happy that that's level. So what I'm going to do now, I've already decided where I want the window to go. So I've set my combination square there to the correct depth there. I'll butt that up to there. I'll also put it there. There we go. So I know that's in the correct position now. What I'll do is I'll just get a pencil, just draw myself a line there so I know where it's getting fixed. Then I'll take the sill off. So I've drawn my line. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a dam of silicone there. I'm also going to put a bead all the way along the bottom. And also a dam there. Put another bead across there. That'll prevent any water, any moisture going back into the room. So then I'll get my sill, offer it back up. Sit it down on the silicone. Oh, you just pull that out for there, Adam. Sit down on the silicone. And there, I can still see my pencil line on this side, so I'll push that down like that. I'll get my impact driver, get one of these 100mm screws, and once again, as I said before, I'm going to then fix it through the thermal brake. Now, if you just watch how far I send that down, look. So it's compressed it, but it hasn't broke the thermal brake, and that's what you're looking for. Once again, I'll do it on this side. Make sure I'm on my line, which I am. Again, just sunk it just enough there. Hasn't broke the thermal brake. And then a third one in the middle. And that will be enough to secure that, because it's only a 1200 wide window. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put a blob of silicone just over the top of each screw. Just any moisture that goes into there will then not track down the screw hole. Wet your finger, stops the silicone sticking to your finger. Wet that, put it over. There we go. That's the sill. The sill fit. It's been dammed, it's been cut, it's level, we know it's level, so we can offer the window up there. I've left a gap there and I've left a gap there. Like I said, just in case these walls are out slightly, what I can do, I can rack the window then and make sure it goes in nice and straight. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a bead of silicone along that back edge there. And I'm going to then fill them two sides there with silicone as well. So any water that comes down won't track back into the room. And then I'll offer the window up into place. I'll pull it back to this little lip here. It'll compress the silicone and then seal the back against the sill. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fill that now with silicone. Stop any water coming back into the room. Same on this side as well. And then what I'm going to do then is put myself a bead of silicone right down the back of that sill there against that upstand. And then that will then bond to the window when the window goes in. I've put the 1mm packers, window packers on there, and if you watch me fit the doors, you'll know why. It's so when I offer the door up, it doesn't scratch the sill, the window, sorry. When I offer the window up, it doesn't scratch the sill. So what I'm going to do now is offer this up. I'll send it out first. There we go. I'm going to sit it on the packers, which I have done. Pull it back in. Pull it back up to that bead of silicone I put on there. I can see it's compressing now, so what I'll do now is have a look and make sure we're all right there. I'll get my packers. Pull them out. And there you go. That's, I mean, we've seen our window fitter do that, and it's a no-brainer. We used to panic about lifting them up. We didn't want to scratch the sill. So what happens now is that window now is sat fully on that sill. It's gone on. There's no scratches, no damage. So what I'll do now, I'll locate the window centrally. You see it's sticking over there. I'll locate it centrally to the sill. Obviously that end cap there, the silicone's still wet, but that'll hold on. And there, it's in place now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put my laser level on it and I'm going to plumb it. Because it's quite a small window and obviously it's aluminium, it's not going to rack that way because it's rigid, it's built that way. So what I'll need to do now is plumb it this way. And I'll fix it. I'll show you us fixing it. I'll get some packers in. We'll make sure it opens and closes. Then we'll fit the glass. We'll toe and heel them, and I'll show you how we do that as well. So if you look there, that's the lip of the sill, the little lip I ran about. And what it's done now, it's just pushed the silicone up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean that off there. Like I say, you're better off cleaning it as you go, and then you're not going to forget in it and be left with silicone everywhere. But what I'm doing, I'm just keeping my hand on window just to stop it from falling out. It won't though, because the sill's flat and we're sat on the flat sill and it's bonded on silicone as well. So there you go. That's the window sat on the sill now. So I've got my laser there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put these packers in there like that. And then I'm going to make sure they go right through to the other side. So then what I'm going to do then, I'm going to get my 100mm screws. I'm going to fix through the thermal seal again because that's the best place to fix it. Obviously the thermal seal is plastic. I don't know if Adam can come around there. I've just compressed that there but not broke the thermal seal. So that's got a fix on that one there. We know that's good. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to open the window and not do what I did on the video that I deleted. I actually screwed the window shut. So I'll open the window and then I'll find my right packers. As I said with the packers before, what you want is the least amount of packers for the size required. So let's say it's 10mm. You don't want 10 1mm packers. You want 2 5mm packers. It's a lot more sturdy. So I'll get them in place like that. Pop them there. I'll get another screw. Again, using these 4-inch torque screws. Let's try and send it through. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm just pulling it back onto that lip there because I don't want it to move forward. So what I've done, I've set the laser up there. So what I'll do, again for clarity, what I did last time, I don't know if I can jump to the side. I'm just going to hold that there. He's on laser. I'll just hold that there. I'll just mark where that is, just for clarity. Normally use a tape measure, but obviously it's a lot easier to do it this way and show you it on the white packer. So there you can see. So what I need to do now is obviously bring that window back to there. So what I'll do, I'm just holding that in place now, where it's supposed to be. Just mark that up. Right, so I've got the right size packers. So what I'm going to do, I know the window is not going to be racked because it's quite a small window and it's quite square. So what I'll do now, I'll get them packers in place like that. Make sure they go through to the other side as well. I'll get my screw ready. Get it started. Again, you need to screw sort of where the packers are going. I can see my line that I've already put on there. Just going to pull the window to the line. Again, not over compress that, just put it in so it's just right. So I'll just get my line there and check my line, which one was it? There we go. You can see that? Stick it up there you go. So that's dead plumb is that now. Right, so there's my laser. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get my white packer, get one that I haven't got a mark on, and stick that there like that. So I'm butting it to the window, just marking it there, just for clarity so you can see it. And then what I'll do there, look, I can see it windows out, so what I need to do is pull that window into there so that it's right. So what I'll do, I'll get my packers, again, least amount of packers for the size required. So a couple of blue ones. You get these for about, I think they might have been 30 quid for a bag, but there's loads in the bag that'll do you for your job. That's a bit loose, is that? There we go, that's nice and tight. So what I'm going to do is just bang them in. And in fact, it's too tight. So what I'm going to do is take them back out, swap one of them black ones for a green one. There we go, loads better. Right, get me white. What I'll do, I'll get a screw started. So I've started my screw off. I'm going to get my window there. Look, I've got my packers in, they're nice and tight. I'll just squeeze it over there. There, so it's dead on that line there. And we know that then is plumb. Again, not over compress it, just squeezed it up. What I'll do the same again, I'll put another packer there and fix there in the middle. I'll just check that window closes, which it does lovely. So there we go. I'll put them packers in there. We know that window's nice and secure. I've not screwed down into the sill. It's silicone to the back there. It's fixed to the wall. We're going to form it in as well. So because we're not screwing down the sill, then there's no danger of any water going down into the sill. So there you go, I've put a fix in there, a fix in there, a fix in there. I've replicated it on that side. I've put one there, and one in the middle. I've also fixed my sill down. What we'll do now, we'll form this gap as well when we finish, but we're going to glaze it first before we form it, just because it'll be bouncing around when we glaze it. So this is a fixed pane. You notice I've not put one in the top. When we form that, the foam will be sufficiently strong enough to hold it, and also we've got a reveal on that side and a reveal on that side, so the window's never going to move or come out. Like I say, that's an opening window. This is a fixed pane, so we're going to fit this one first. The way these windows have been designed is that both panes are the same size. So when I take my bead out, I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put them to the side so I know one's left, one's right. Because what happens sometimes, if they're cut and they're slightly different, then there can be a bugger to go in. So that's my top one, that's my bottom one. I'll just show you these beads, Adam. So what happens with this bead, it's got a little lip there, which sits in there, and then it's got another little lip there, and when you force it in, that compresses. Can you see that compressing? Or that, yeah. That compresses and then jams it in there, and that little recess there is for the window seal to sit in the gasket. They've already been pre-gasketed on the outside, you can see that there. So we need to fix these in and then get them gasketed on the inside, which I'll show you as well. So that's my bottom one. I'll put that down on there out of the way. We know where that one's going in. The glass from this company, Express Bifolds we use in Leeds. It's been polished on the edge there, so it's not sharp. I can put my hand along that as hard as I want. It won't cut me. Sometimes it's got tape on, but show a bit of caution because sometimes it's sharp. They've got travel packers on, these little red things to stop the glass scratching against each other. And all the glass should have a sticker on telling you it's argon filled and which way, because it has a reflective coating on, and one side needs to face the room and one side needs to face outwards. On this particular case, there you go, coated glass, glaze label to outside. So that's the glaze label, that's going to the outside. So we know that. That'll go that round. So again, good quality window company. They've already got some packers in there to keep the glass actually off the frame. We'll offer that into place. Fits like a glove. We'll make sure that left and right, it's nice, it's evenly spaced. What we're going to do as well, we're just going to put a couple of packers in the top there just to keep it in place and hold that frame up. You particularly want to do this if you've got a UPVC window, because what happens come summertime, the top of the head will sag, and if you haven't packed it, it will sag down on the glass when it heats up, and it looks a dog, especially if it's a big window. But these are aluminium, we don't have that problem here, but we're just going to put them in there just to trap the glass in place, which is now trapped in place. Don't ask me about that. You can see it's toughened glass as well. I don't know if Adam can see that there. Can you see that little toughened sign? No. Anyway, there's a little etching on there to say it's toughened glass. So we'll get his bottom bead. Generally, when you bead the windows, the smaller beads go in first. If they're UPVC, they are often mitered as well, but these are aluminium, so they're square. Now, it's still quite cold today. It's been snowing and fingers are a bit numb. I can barely feel them, so what I'm going to just try and get that in. There we go. You heard it clicking. I've actually, I've put that bead in the silicone. I'm just going to clean that off because obviously we don't want no silicone on the glass, and I've also got silicone in the groove, which we need to get out. There we go. That's clean. Again, offer it into place. You just see that it just, so we're offering that first little clip in first. We'll offer that one in, and then when I push that up, you just kind of got it somewhere near square and somewhere near on an angle. There we go, it's a little sweet spot, and then you can hear it. There you go, clicked in like that. So there's them two in. It's not going to fall out now. We'll get the side beads in as well, and then I'll show you how we can tone heel this window. And then what we'll do, we'll put the gaskets in. I'll show you them going in. We'll foam it up, and that'll be your window fit. So side bead. Again, that's gone in lovely, that. If there was a mil difference in that and you swapped them over, then you don't want to be putting them in and scratching the other beads that have gone in. There you go, you had that pop in as well. See if this one goes in as easy. Right, so there you go. What's happened there? Can you see that, Adam, if I put my hand there? It's like just like a half a mil too big, but it's not actually too big. What's happened is, because that's gone in there, that one's at an angle like that, that bottom one's at an angle like that, and it's then made that distance there smaller than that bead. So what we're going to do to get around that, we're going to get some packers. We're going to replicate. Right, what I'm using there is a plastic shovel. It's a glazing shovel. I'm going to force that glass over there, and what I'm going to do now is drop a packer in there. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll slide that over there. And what that's now done, it's got stuck. I can't feel my fingertips, mate, can you? What that's now done, it then makes the bead square instead of angled like it was because it was tilted. We'll do the same on the top and there, and then hopefully now that bead that was a second ago too long should go in a little bit easier now because it's square, and it doesn't. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my glasses back on, and I'm going to take the smallest little bit off this with the chop saw. Because it's burred it a little bit. What I need to do now is just run my knife along there. Just get the burr off there. I've took off the smallest little fraction. So I'm going to now offer that into place and see how that one goes. There, it's dropped in now, look. Still a little bit. There we go. Force that one in. So there we go. That one's fully beaded now. I've shown you how to get the beads in. I'm going to tone heel this window now because it's an opening window, and I'll explain tone heeling to you as well. So we're going to fit the opening window now, fit the glass into that. So you can see there the handle, I'm going to have to lighten the video, it's very dark obviously we're looking outside. The handle is fixed into the bead. So what you need to do to fix these ones is take the handle off. What I'll do is open the window. But what we also want to do and all now is, firstly, not lose the screws. So what I'll do, I'll then close that window now. that's then trapped that screw in that hole, but it's also trapped the window shut, which is what we want. We don't want the window opening when we're trying to fit the glass. So I'll take the handle off. I'll put that down there so it doesn't get lost. Now this bead now, there, has come off, but there you can see there. Can you see that better, Adam, now? So the handle's actually drilled into the bead. So obviously there's going to be no issue mixing them ones up. That's my bottom bead, and that's my top one. Right, toe and heeling. If you've not watched my door video, my door installation video, then what I've explained basically is that's your hinge side. So like a garden gate, you need to put a brace in, a diagonal brace. So when that window opens, it's going to want to sag under the weight of the glass. So if you put packers there and there to support the glass, so this is floating, then all the pressure is downward onto the hinge side. It's called toe and heeling, and it will then enable when the window opens, there'll be no downward pressure because it'll be pushing on this corner and it'll always stay true and it'll always shut nice for you. So again, glass. The only reason why I put my gloves on is because I can't feel my fingertips anymore. We'll take these little travel packers off. They're there to stop the glass scratching against each other. And we know from the last window that the sticker wants to point outside. So we'll get that ready there. Give it a little bit of clean, get any muck and crap off the edges. We're good to go. Right, so off of that window, get it past the lock like that. Offer it into place. Don't want to go. Right, there we go. So, toe and heeling. What we're going to do now, again, get the plastic shovel. Get some various different size packers out of there. Give that plastic shovel a wipe, because you get any grit on it, it'll start scratching your glass. Now, I don't know if Adam can see, you probably can't, but what I'm trying to do is get the glass centralised to the seal outside, so you can see the black insert on the double glazing, and we're centralising that. So I'm happy that's centralised there. Right, I'm constantly keeping a bit of pressure on the glass, and the reason why for that is I don't want the glass to fall out the window. So I'm just going to pop that over like that a touch, stick that packer in there, send it back over there. Now what I want to do now is lift it up. So what I'm going to do again, put another black packer because I know that's a good size. I've lifted the glass up with the glass shovel, popped it under. Right, so I've got that corner pack now. There's none on that, but the glass is now leaning that way. So what I need to do now is get another packer there. I'll have a look. I think white might be too big, personally. No, white's a good size. So I've got my white packer in there, and now the key ones now are getting the packers in at the top. So I'm going to get that one in. It doesn't fit, but I know that it's going to fit. So what I'm going to do is just force the window up a little bit. Pop the packer in there. So what's happened now, I've got packers there, packers there, packers there, packers there. I've got now a diagonal brace created on the glass, just like a garden gate should be. And then when that window opens then, any pressure will be down on that hinge side, which will prevent the window from sagging over. So we're going to go for the beads now. Get the bottom one in first. I might have to take my gloves off for this because it's a little bit fiddly. So again, got my head against the glass. A little bit tricky. There you go, you heard that one pop in. Once I get the top one in, I know I can let go of the glass. It ain't going to fall out then. Again, that's gone in that side. Your lyrics pop in now. There you go. So it ain't going to fall out. What I can do now is get my side beads in as well, and I'll show you how to put the handle back. Sometimes the lock side, it can be a bit of a pain to get it in. Let's see how easy it goes in. Right, so it's slipped in height-wise lovely. So what's happening is, because obviously, I've got my back in, obviously, I've clicked it in there, that's good, but then where the lock is then, because it's weakened because of that notching that's taken out, it doesn't want to go in the back there. So it's just popped out the bottom now, I don't know if you heard that. I'll try and get back in again. That's in. There we go, that's popped in, so that's in lovely. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to pop the handle back on. Offer that into place. Like I said, try not to lose the screws. Get that in. I'm not going to over tighten that because when I want to put that seal back in, I want to make sure that that flexes properly. So there we go. There's my handle on. So I'll just make sure the window opens as well, which it does. It's a good mechanism on this, an absolute top quality window as well. So you can see that lovely opening window there. Locks beautifully. So we know we've done the right job there. We've toed and nailed it. We've put us packers in. That's all good. We're happy with that. What we'll do now, we'll put the gaskets in, and once the gaskets in, I'll form it up, and then the window will be complete. Right. So this is the window seal. It's got a little red line there. That indicates what side that it needs to go into that little groove on the bead, and then that will then sit against the window and seal it in. So what we're going to use, we've got us packer in there to space it off. You can see the little space in there. We're going to use some window cleaner, which helps it slide into place. I've cut this too long, and the reason for that is because it shrinks back a bit. So what we want to do is get that in there, but first, before we do that, we need to get some packers in there like that. What I'm going to do now is slide that seal in past through there, so it's actually gone into the rebate of the window, because they do shrink back, as I've said. There, you can see that's gone in lovely there. So what I'll do, I'm using a pair of electrician's nips, but use a pair of scissors or whatever. I'm going to cut that too long, and then offer that in like that. And what I've done there, I've also left an extra bit there, so when I pull that out, when I push that extra bit in there, it will push it along a little bit further. So that's your bottom seal in there. What I'll do now, I'll do the side ones. I'll just show you the side ones as well. What we need to do is, again, get yourself a packer in there. So what we've got two packers holding the bead back and creating a gap for us to get our seal in. So again, I'll get my seal. I'll cut it more than what I need in length. There we go. Again, I'll get myself some window cleaner. Applicate that. So I'm looking at the little red line. I know I've got it the right way around. Offer that one in there. It's gone in nice. Push it up a little bit further than what it needs to be. And now I'm going to leave a little loop there. Well, not a loop as such, but more like a little extra bit. And the purpose of that is when I come to take them packers out, I've got a seal which is then too long. So, yeah, a bridge as such. And then what I'm going to do now is just cut that to right length there. Pop that in. So it's touching there, it's touching there. When I take them out now, I've then got an extra bit. So the seal is longer than what's required now, which is what we want. Stop it actually shrinking back. Again, let's get the side on there. Put the packer in there, like that. We know that's good, that's good. Get my seal. Cut it too long. Offer it up, red bit to the side. Oh, window cleaner. Helps lube it and slide it in. There we go, push that up to where it wants to go. Left my little bridge. Slided that down. Another little bridge. Nips. Cut it off to length. Pop it in. Remove the packer. Get the seal in properly, like that, and there we go. So that's sealed there, that's sealed there, that's sealed there. It's got its gasket in all the way around apart from the top, which I'll just get in now. Again, plastic shovel, couple of quid. You're not going to break your glass. Does the job required. Great bit of kit. Cut my seal too long, so this is the last seal that's going in now. Window cleaner. In we go with that. Push it tight up to the other gasket. Leave my loop. Leave my loop. Nips. Cut it. There we go. Send it in. So what's going to happen now, I'm going to pull these two packers out. They've come out easy because the gasket is pushing the window bead back. Take that one out. Push them back in. There we go, that's done there. All that's left to do now is clean that glass. That's in, it's gasketed, it's solid, it's toughened glass, it's packed. We're going to do exactly the same on this one, but I'm just going to skip past that bit. And then what we're going to do is foam them up. Right, so we've fit the window. All that's left to do now is seal the window. What I'm using this gun grade expanding foam. Now, if you've used a can of foam before with the plastic straw on top, you know that it goes everywhere and it just keeps pumping out and it's a bloody nightmare. These guns, I think they're about £17 or something like that. And the control you've got over the foam is second to none. So this is what you want to buy if you're going to fit one of these. What I'm going to do, I'm going to foam them from both sides. The foam then, gets a really good grip of the window. I know some of you have had windows fit at home and they won't even screw them in. What they'll have done, they'll have packed them and formed them, but believe me, that window ain't going nowhere. It gets such a good grip. So what I'll do, like I said, I'll form that from outside. Adam will just nip out with me now and I'll just show you that and I'll just have a little talk with you about what we've done. So if you haven't watched my door video, bifold doors, I'll put a link at the end of this video for the door fitting video. It's practically the same as this. The key thing is to get your sill right. Once your sill is right, then everything will fall into place. So what we've done, we've got the sill down, we've dammed the sill, we drilled the holes in the sill because they weren't already pre-drilled. We've siliconed it down, we've screwed it down. We knew that our sill was dead right. Then what else we did then? We put the frame on, we put silicone at the back of the little upstand there, we pulled it tight to that. We've fixed them, we've packed it, we've fixed and packed it on that side. We've not fixed through into the sill. Obviously then you're going to have no water problem then coming through. We've put the glass in, I've showed you how to glaze the window, I've showed you how to put the gasket in, and I showed you how to tone heel the window. So there's now a diagonal brace running from that corner to that corner, so when that window opens there, for all intents and purposes, there'll be no weight coming down and it will stay good and it will always open and shut properly. So that's it, that's your window installation fully complete. The only thing that remaining on that, they've not sent two caps, a left and a right-handed cap, so we'll put a left-handed cap on that when we come back to this one. So that's it, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.